At Direct Service Overhead, we know how much trust you put in the individuals who have the privilege of working on the components of your home. We understand that a broken garage door is the last thing you want to be worried about, and most of the time, doors break at the most inconvenient times. Our professionally trained technicians service 24 hours a day, and our high-cycle parts are guaranteed to make a noticeable impact on your garage door without putting a damper on your wallet. If you're looking for need of assistance maintaining your current garage door, our team has the experience and expertise to deliver the results you deserve. Give Direct Service Overhead a call today or visit us online to learn more.
All right. Pardon the low energy. I think I've got like a head cold coming on here. 3, 2, 1, yo. Let's do this. I'm not going to be able, if you're expecting me to stream the actual CBS broadcast of the selection of the tournament selection, I can't do that. This channel it'll just get taken down straight up. So we're just going to kind of sit here and chill for a minute. We're going to discuss who it is the Razorbacks play. That should be going on right now. As a matter of fact, I need to pull that up on my phone. YouTube TV on the mobile app. Thank God for these mobile apps, huh? Turn that bad boy all the way down. Do me a favor if you guys haven't already. Like the stream. Please like it. Share the content, all that stuff. You know what to do. Shout out to Direct Service Overhead, the garage door company. Is this it? Is this the selection show? Okay. They're on a commercial right now, and I realize there's going to be people that may watch this after the fact. Looks like they're discussing Gonzaga at the moment. So, Arkansas projected by most people, according to Joe Lenardi or Bracket Matrix. Arkansas is projected to be a 4 seed. I have them as a 4 seed. So Gonzaga is going to face off against Georgia State. That's on Thursday in the West Region bracket. Again, you can't even show video. I mean, I'd love to just show you the video without audio, and you'll still get hit. It is what it is. It sucks, but we're at least here to react to what happens with Arkansas. So they're going over the Western Region. Memphis drew Boise State, 8 and 9 seeds. UConn, here's a big one, at a 5 seed. Now they'll be paired up against a 12. So who do you guys think it is? Do you believe it's going to be a 4 seed? Do you think Arkansas gets gypped? They got smacked around. Let's not pretend like that didn't happen yesterday. Does that have some kind of an impact on the selection committee? We know the net rankings have been bizarre. Here it is, Arkansas 4 seed. There it is. In the Western Region bracket in Buffalo, New York. Their opponent is Vermont, who's sitting at 28 and 5. That is going to be interesting. So there you have it. Arkansas taking on Vermont. There it is. I didn't think it'd be that quick, I'll be honest. What do you guys think of that? I didn't think it'd be that fast. I thought we'd have to sit here for a minute. Well, I mean, I guess, you are up there. So, there you have it. I said Ford and Vermont earlier. You know what? I'm not going to lie to you. I figured everybody was going to pick Vermont. So, when I put it in the Discord question, I went another direction. I thought, you know what? Forget about it. I'm going to go a different route, and I took Chattanooga. I knew everyone was probably going to pick Vermont. That seemed pretty obvious. Joe Lenardi, I think, has had that projected for a while. So, there you go. If that was your pick in Discord, you're going to get some XP. You're going to gain some Discord experience points. So Arkansas, interesting. I don't know who I'd want more. If I'd want, New Mexico State was in the conversation. Vermont, Chattanooga. I really don't know of that group who I just don't know enough about them. I'm going to be honest with you. I just don't. So when did they say that game was again? What was the date on that? Oh, come on. You're telling me I can't find that on Twitter? Okay, so Arkansas, that's going to be Thursday. So we're going to have Monday and Wednesday to get prepared for Vermont. We don't have a time on that game, though, do we? So it'll probably, yeah. Here, I'll flip my screen around for you guys, for everyone who's kind of curious about this. There's this is from someone on Twitter. Who is this? Kevin McPherson, of course. So there's your look right there. New Mexico State got the 12. UConn's going to get them. So there you have it. And again, this shouldn't be too shocking for anyone who had been keeping up with it, keeping up with the projections. That shouldn't be too shocking that it's going to be Vermont. I kind of was hoping maybe it would be someone not who Joe Lenardi was picking us to play. I don't know. I mean, I don't have anything against the guy, but that's your pick. Gonzaga's going to draw Georgia State, Boise State, Memphis, UConn, New Mexico State, and then Arkansas and Vermont. There you have it. What do you guys think? Anyone who, I know we're going to have someone who's kept up with Vermont, right? One of you've kept up with Vermont. What do you think? Or maybe you've at least, since that bracket, since Joe Lenardi's been putting that out there, maybe you've kept up with it a little bit. Here's what I always find interesting. No matter who Arkansas's faced off with every week, I hear the exact same thing. Oh, they're scary good. They're really good. I called it earlier. Yeah. Celtics for Life says Vermont is scary. I hear that all the time. Not saying that they're wrong. Tell me why. What is it? Can you put it on the screen? I did for you, Madison. I did it just for you, buddy. Just for you. I'm more scared of Vermont than UConn. Vermont is high scoring. We better guard the 3. So again, Wednesday, I'll probably just go ahead and do a breakdown on Vermont. Monday, maybe we fill out a bracket on Monday. Maybe that's what we do. And we kind of discuss. We'll go into Arkansas baseball. What a weekend for the Hogs, huh? Did you watch that game today? Holy crap. Looked like they were trying to let go of the rope there. Looked a little familiar. And then they came back and took the lead, and then it went back and forth there. What a game, man. Joe says Vermont's trash. They are basically Colgate for this year. Okay. Hope we could beat them and not play like we did against A&M. I think that's obviously the thing we're going to discuss the most. Does Arkansas just simply turn the page on A&M, or do they let it kind of hold them back a little bit in the tournament? Because you turn around, Thursday's here before you know it. Now, you could talk about that's a pretty good gap in time, since you last played, going from a Saturday, not playing until that following Thursday. But, everyone's got to deal with that, right? I'm sure there's plenty of teams in this tournament who are coming off a crushing blow in their conference tournament. Arkansas was in a similar situation last year, losing when they did in the SEC tournament, although it wasn't as demoralizing as what we just witnessed against A&M. Do you think we match up well with Gonzaga? I'm not. Gonzaga's Gonzaga. They're going to have great coaching and great product on the floor. Is this the year for Gonzaga? Some people seem to believe so. Guys, we got shafted. Got to play UConn, Gonzaga, and Duke just to get to the Final Four. Not likely. Duke has shown to me that they have gaps in their armor. I don't know if you watched them this year. Now, they are good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you that they're not great. But I don't know that I don't know that this is a Duke team that's – of course they're capable of winning it all because they're Duke. Their coach is on – I mean, he's done. Their coach is done. Are they going to put it all together for their coach? They went 28-6 this year. They did beat Kentucky to start the season off. They beat them by 8 points. They lost on the road to Ohio State. Just talking about Duke really quick. Miami. They lost to Miami, who ended up being pretty salty. They lost on the road to Florida State. They lost to Virginia. And they lost to North Carolina. And then they just lost to Virginia Tech. They got destroyed by Virginia Tech, 82-67. Any Duke team you've got to be concerned about. You get matched up against them, but I think sometimes we fear the logo more than what's underneath it. And not that I watched a lot of Duke basketball this year. I watched maybe half a game, maybe a couple halves a game. They didn't look elite to me. They didn't look like a team that was clearly top 2 in the country, but they are sound. They're a good team. They did just go 28-6 after all in the ACC. North Carolina, who finished 24-9, Notre Dame with that schedule, who played in the ACC schedule, 22-10, Miami 23-10. But more importantly, let's pull up Vermont really fast. Again, I'm not going to go diving heavily into Vermont. I'll do that tonight, later, actually, probably after dinner. Vermont won a lot of games. They did lose on the road to Hartford, but if you look at who they beat, I honestly can't tell you that anyone they beat was worth a damn. And that's something you have to consider when you're about to play them in the NCAA tournament. I don't know what they did a year ago, but I know this year they didn't lose a lot. They went 28-5. They did lose their only Power 5 basketball team they played against this year. They lost to Maryland. And I think that's something worth noting because Maryland, not exactly a good basketball team. Maryland, obviously, we know what's going on with the coaching change there, and of course, Muss's name was put in their media rotation. It's so funny, like they had a chance. They're not going to get not happening. They went 15-7. Maryland did 7-13 in the Big Ten. Now, the Big Ten's pretty solid this year, but that's who Vermont lost to. Their only Power 5 matchup. Now that was earlier in the year, and I agree. You could say the same thing about the Hogs. They lost to Hofstra. They got blown out against a pretty meh Oklahoma team. They lost at home to Vanderbilt, who I would argue was pretty. I mean, Vanderbilt was pretty. They were all right. They're on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 game win streak. They just beat UMBC 82-43. I don't have a date on this. Here it is, March 12th. So yesterday. They beat the crap out of these guys, UMBC Retrievers, but they're 18-14. So, I mean, got to take everyone serious. I'm not telling you not to take anybody serious either. For any of you who were here last year, I said it before every tournament game. You have to take each and every one of these opponents as though they're Goliath, right? You're David, they're Goliath. That's how you need to approach every single game as a team. And I'm sure Musselman tonight will be getting prepared. In fact, he said that on his post game. He said at around 7 p.m. tonight he's going to start doing a little bit more homework. But he wants to focus on what happened against A&M. And I think that is a good idea. I think it's good to focus on what happened there, what you did wrong. He said he was going to show film to each, and he was going to give film to each and every one of his players. They're going to go over what they did wrong. I'm not sure that there's much that you did right with against A&M. And you're going to play, maybe Vermont's better. I really don't know. I don't know a damn thing about their conference. They play in the AM East. They're in the AM East, where they have Stony Brook. We know that name. New Hampshire, Albany, Hartford, Binghamton, UMass Lowell, NJIT, and Maine. And, of course, Vermont. So, I mean, again, I don't know anything about that conference. Looking at it, not a lot of wins. UMBC is their second leading team in their conference, who finished 11-7 in conference play, 18-14 overall. Vermont squashed this conference. They went 17-1. But again, all their they lost 4 non-con games, and their only P5 matchup that I see here, I don't see another P5 game. They're supposed to play Northeastern, but that game got canceled. And I don't know if they made up this Hartford game, but they had a postponement against Hartford earlier, like when was that, December? I guess they did make up that game and they lost it. It was on the road at Hartford. So they split Hartford, but they made up that postponement and went on the road and lost. So that's what we have right now. Again, we'll do a little bit more work. Probably I'll do more work on it tonight. Hey, brother, glad to catch you live today. Nice haircut. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate it, man. Tennessee got a 3, no way. I mean, you know, I'm not super shocked by that. I'm trying to pull up CBS again here really quick, see where we're at on their stream. I have their website up as well. Of course, they probably won't. Wait, here we go. I think we're getting. Is this what they have so far? Please tell me it is. Well, no, it's not, because it's saying. What is this? Okay, this was updated at 4:38. They at one point had us playing CS Fullerton. That's CBS Sports. At one point they had us up against CS Fullerton, if I'm looking at this right, in the Western bracket. Yeah, Duke. Duke is here, right? I wish they would go ahead and update this as they're moving along. That'd be nice. So we'd have a more accurate picture here, but yeah, it hasn't been updated yet. So we'll keep an eye on that for just a second. That's what Twitter's good for, though, right? Twitter can help you keep up. Michigan got in. Clay Travis is having a meltdown. Total bullshit. The Tennessee got a 3 seed. Complete and total bullshit. Committee should be ashamed for not looking at data. Embarrassing. Eric Musselman's already got a post up. Arkansas, number 4 seed, taking on Vermont, 13th seed, March 17th at the KeyBank Center. Did A&M get in? I don't know yet. I've not seen it. Again, I'm not seeing it on my screen, and CBS has not updated. They're not like live updating their site, and I'm sure their show is on a commercial right now. I'm trying to keep this up in front of me. So Vermont, looking at them, they average about 75 points a game. So for those of you saying they're like an elite scoring squad, that's good for 81st in the country. They're not very good at rebounding. They're 35 rebounds a game, which puts them at 224th in the country. Their defense looks to be pretty damn solid. I think maybe you guys are mixing up their offense and defense. Like 75 points isn't bad. That's pretty good. It's not elite. It's not upper echelon scoring, but that's pretty good. You're getting 75 points a game. But what stands out to me is 60 points a game. And I'm looking at their matchups here. I mean, they held several opponents here under 60 points, right at 50, 51 points, 50 points. I mean, they held Binghamton to 42 points. And they beat UMBC again, 82-43. Their defense is what's standing out to me. Now, lately they have played pretty good on offense. They beat Maine 75-56 not long ago. NJIT they beat 98-59. Binghamton 74-42. So what is that? Like an 80-something point average these last 1, 2, 3, 4 games. That's pretty good. Now the first time they played Binghamton, they only played Hampton. Sorry, they only had 66 points, but they still held those guys underneath 50 points. They did that in two matchups against those guys. They held UMBC under 60 points both times they played them. Damn, they played Binghamton twice. Or 3 times, excuse me. They beat them the first time 82-51. Again, Binghamton's probably terrible. I say that, watch them be like 12-17. So, no, it's not, they're not beating the living hell out of really good teams that I can tell. Again, their only Power 5 matchup, talking about Vermont, they lost by 11 points, 68-57. Now, take that however you want. Maryland, not a very good team. Now, that was earlier in the year, and Arkansas had some embarrassing losses too, so you have to take all that with a grain of salt. They're back. Are they going to update their damn site? Wow. Committee deserves to get their balls slammed. Well, that's not violent at all. Muss will be ready on St. Patrick's Day. We will be ready. Maybe if I go to their Twitter. How about that? Maybe their Twitter. Let's go look at CBS Sports Twitter. Did you guys watch Tennessee and A&M? What happened today for A&M, I fully expected to happen yesterday. Oh, here we go. There we go. Here's one tournament. Well, that's the South region. You're not doing me any favors here. So they've only got 2 5 minutes ago. Scrolling. Keep scrolling. Come on. Yeah. Limp Biscuit. Oh, CBS, I'm not liking you right now. I mean, why not update at least your site or your Twitter? They've only got the South region. I don't care about that region right now. And they're filling out. Kansas got the 1 seed. They're going to take on whoa. So wait a minute. That could be Texas A&M's. Well, that's they don't have Texas A&M in. Or do they? There's a March Madness app. That's awesome. Is it updated? Is it giving us the updates? Does it already have it all put out? The March Madness? That's what I want to know. NCAA. Oh, you know what? What about just the NCAA site? They have a bracket. March Madness Live. Don't they have a bracket? No, that's football. Whoops. My bad. That's football. That's not basketball. There we go. Sports. Men's basketball. Here we go. Bracket. All right. Does this give us what we want? Here it is. Okay. I don't know why I didn't just come here to begin with. Let me flip my screen around for you guys. We'll take a look at this, what they have so far. A&M made it. 1 region left and still not in. Oh, I don't think A&M made it. My bad. How come no videos are up of spring? That's actually a good question, Johnny. I don't know. That's a really good question. Maybe they just completely blocked off all coverage. I don't know why the U of A wouldn't put something out. All right, let me flip this bad boy around here and let's take a gander. So here it is. Arkansas and Vermont. Click. Oh, whoops. Well, okay. Yeah, TBA on time, but it will be on Thursday. Oh, I love it. Oh, I can't wait to fill out my bracket. I'm so excited. Okay, so who else we got? Oof. That's so Duke gets CS Fullerton. How did CBS have us with CS Fullerton? That doesn't even make sense. Texas Tech draws Montana State. Michigan State gets Davidson. Ooh, that'll be a good matchup right there. Davidson and Michigan State, y'all. That's going to be a good – watch out for that one. I like that matchup right out the gate, son. Oh. We don't have – so what's this? We don't have Alabama yet? Is it just not – let me refresh. So, okay, that's weird. We don't have Alabama. I guess they're still waiting on is there still a conference tournament going on? UConn, that's going to be this is a tough bracket. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Gonzaga, UConn. I mean, I'm not really. I don't know how far Alabama gets. I'm going to be real. I don't even know if they get. They might, depending on who they draw here. They might make it to the second round. I don't know. Again, depends on their matchup too, right? They are definitely a matchup kind of team. But this Michigan State Davidson game has me I love that. And Duke and Fullerton, so they don't have it completely updated here. Okay, so it's not completely updated, but at least we got this much. And someone texted me. They said, "Don't be surprised. Montana State, Texas Tech will be a good one." I don't know anything about Montana State. Boise State, Memphis. That'll be a good one too. I think Memphis has been a lot better than where they were at the beginning of the year. They're playing much better brand of basketball. And they're not giving us anything else. Obviously, that's cool. Everything's still going. They're still waiting to fill this thing out. So as we get more of these, we'll try to dissect. Again, we're going to try and dissect what we can on Wednesday. We're going to try and talk about this matchup more and more. After being held to single digits against A&M, I see JD going off against Vermont. I don't care how good the defense has been. Yeah, well, I guarantee you they've not faced anything like what they're about to play. Stun the like. That's right. Stun the like button. So if you're just getting here, if you're curious, Arkansas will be playing Vermont as a 4 seed. And my most intriguing matchup so far that I see is that Michigan State Davidson game. I'm legitimately want to watch this game. Who makes it to Nolens, y'all? The Hogs have a prayer. Of course, we can't say much because we don't know who else they got. While we're kind of waiting for this NCAA stuff to get updated, again, I'm going to stay there because at least it's up to date. Yeah, Dragon Slayer just linked something to me here. What is this? Is it filled out, though? Is this their up-to-date bracket? Because I was looking earlier and it wasn't. So South region, I'll go to their Twitter. Arizona 1 seed up against Wright State or Bryant, I guess. Seton Hall, TCU. Houston got the 5 in that bracket up against UAB. That might be a pretty interesting matchup. Illinois, they end up getting Chattanooga. Don't know anything about Chattanooga. Tennessee's going to get Longwood. Michigan gets in at an 11. They're going to play Colorado State. Ohio State draws Loyola. That's always interesting, right? Loyola, Chicago. And Villanova's going to get matched up against Delaware. Villanova got the 2 seed. Dragon, what you sent me isn't really... I'm not seeing anything here. I just see a link to their... They have a printable NCAA tournament bracket here. Can I click on that? What does that do? I'm going to stick with the NCAA page. I appreciate the link, though. Let's see. Is it up to date? Refresh. Well, the NCAA site's not doing me any favors either. Son of a gun. Vermont is similar to Hofstra. This is Michael. I think Vermont will be about like Virginia Tech. Okay, in what way? What are you talking about? LSU got a 6 seed. Auburn got a 2 seed. It's saying we play Wednesday at 11. Well, what I just saw said Thursday. Let me look at it again. Yeah, NCAA says Thursday, in time to be announced. What did Musselman say? Musselman said Thursday, did he not? My kids are ringing the doorbell. Yeah, it's Thursday, my man. Musselman just tweeted it. Oh my gosh. Hang on a second. Okay. Shut the door. I am happy they're a 4 seed. I didn't think they'd get pushed back. I thought they locked it up. And that's a good, they deserve being a 4 seed no matter what happened yesterday. And I thought what happened today against A&M, I thought that would happen sooner. They were done. And they're not as good as Tennessee. And they went on a magical run. And they honestly, do they deserve to be in? I think it's debatable. At the very least, it's debatable. Had they won, yeah, they're in for sure. If you beat Tennessee, you got through a pretty difficult. You beat Auburn, you beat Arkansas, and then if you manage to beat Tennessee, absolutely you're in. Holy cow! Hang on just a second. They're stuck at my door. Hang on. Oh my gosh! Maybe I should just keep them outside. Okay. Apparently our door was, the lock was stuck and they just kept ringing the doorbell. March Madness. I'm on the actual March Madness page. I just want the whole thing. Let's see. Where does this link take us? Is this it? That's a podcast. Not looking for that. Yeah, Dragon, I know it's the selection show. I can't stream the selection show though. That'll get this YouTube channel taken down. I can't stream it. Let's see what CBS. Where did NCAA bracket go? Okay, well, apparently my NCAA page just closed itself out. That's cool. Here it is. There we go. So we have the rest. We have slowly but surely NCAA is filling out the rest of their bracket here. Baylor up against Norfolk. Baylor, of course, got the 1 seed. North Carolina draws Marquette. St. Mary's is still waiting on their draw. UCLA gets Akron. Texas gets Virginia Tech. If you want to see that. Purdue and Yale, the 3 versus the 14, Murray State and San Francisco. So they're slowly trying to fill this thing out. I like their layout here. It's real simple. See, it's just right here. They're just slow. So Arkansas, oh boy. Winner of UConn and New Mexico State. And the winner of Arkansas and Vermont. Right there. Kentucky's going to get St. Peter's. Purdue gets Yale. Seeing North Carolina at an 8 seed is just weird, right? That's just kind of weird. You almost always expect them to be like a 3 or higher, 4 or higher. Oh my gosh, Duke's gonna have. I mean, look at this. Like, they're gonna get the winner of Davidson and Michigan State. I don't know who I'd pick in that. I mean, that's a tough draw right there, man. But I mean, Duke should beat either one of those. I mean, wouldn't you think? Wouldn't you have Duke over Michigan State or Davidson? I know Davidson, like a lot of people think Davidson might be the surprise of the tournament. I think it's absolutely a possibility. I think anything's possible, right? And it's not unheard of for a 10 to make it past, but we had some interesting week ones last year, round ones rather. But Arkansas will have to focus, obviously, right now on Vermont. You get by that, then you got to deal with UConn or New Mexico State. So I figure what we'll do tomorrow on the show is we may just fill out a bracket. I may just go ahead and fill it out, or I'll fill it out and show you what I have, whatever. You know, A&M didn't get in. Oh, you love to see it. That's what they're saying in chat. That's what they're saying in live stream here. I can't wait to see how overrated the Big Ten is like every year. Yeah, they typically have. I mean, they're sending 7. Didn't they send what they sent last year? And how far? I mean, you know, there might be one team that breaks through. How's the South region, quote unquote, playing games in Pennsylvania and Indiana? Man. Kentucky got a 2 seed. Yep. Poor Gaggies. If Arkansas beat A&M, Arkansas would have gotten a 3. Crazy thing is, if Arkansas won an SEC title, I'd still see them as a 3. No, I don't. I'm not buying that because A&M is not. They're not a tournament team. They've struggled in their rankings all year. No, I don't think A&M catapults you to a 3. I think in order to get to the 3, you'd have to beat Tennessee. A&M just isn't really well thought of, and you saw it. They're left out of the tournament. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that puts you into a 3 seed. I mean, I see what you're saying, Michael. That's not exactly a hot take. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people probably believe that. I just don't, because they were just not very highly thought of, and they got left out. And there's your evidence. They just weren't really high thought of. So I don't think that game moves you very far. It doesn't move you at all. Boy, CBS still has not updated their actual. I mean, isn't that something? Your own selection committee show, and you don't update your own damn site to reflect what the selection committee has picked. Like, that's pitiful. The last they updated was an hour ago. Yeah, I think Arkansas would have to have won out. I think they'd have to have beaten A&M and then get by Tennessee to grab that 3 seed. And I've heard some people even believe then that might be a stretch. I just had it pulled up. The 1 seed in the West, to answer your question, is Gonzaga. They're matched up against Georgia State. Next up, you have Boise State and Memphis. UConn, New Mexico State, 5 versus the 12. Arkansas and Vermont. Arkansas, the 4 seed. Vermont, the 13. I guess we're still waiting on Alabama. I don't know what's going on with that. That's still blank on the NCAA official page. Texas Tech and Montana State. Texas Tech, the 3. Michigan State and Davidson. That's my game so far that I can see in front of me. That's the game 1 matchup I want to watch. Duke is the 2 seed in this bracket. And they're matched up against the 15 CS Fullerton. In the East, you have Baylor is the 1, right? Norfolk, they're going to go up against Norfolk. North Carolina and Marquette. They're the 8 seed versus the 9 seed. St. Mary's is still waiting on their opponent. UCLA and Akron. UCLA the 4. Texas is the 6 up against Virginia Tech. Purdue and Yale. 3 versus the 14. Murray State versus San Francisco. That's the 7 and 10 matchup. Kentucky against St. Peter's. And I'll refresh this page here really quick, see if it's... Okay, boom. There we have it, finally. The full... Oh, boy, the font is really small. We have the full bracket here. I'm sorry, you guys are not going to be able to see this worth a damn. But I'll share it anyways here. There's the see if I can zoom in on this bad boy. Can I zoom in on it? Nope. Well, I'm sorry, that's bad. I mean, that's not even worth pulling up. Is there a link? Tell me you guys got a link. Here we go. Oh, you can already enter a bracket. Look at that. We'll do this tomorrow. I might do my own little private bracket and then a Discord bracket and then, I don't know, a third bracket. I love filling these things out. Is this it? Is this our full? Well, that other... I cannot zoom in on that. That sucks. Well, I could zoom out, but I can't zoom in. Can y'all see that worth a damn? That looks okay. I mean, I can kind of see that. But there you go. If you could see it, let me pull it up on my phone, see what that looks like for you guys. There's your full matchup. So if you put your phone sideways, is it any better? Oh, Lord, it's really not. Well, anyways, I tell you what, I can always just send you a link too. How about that? Tony Brown, I think we're in trouble. Oh, dude, what? I can't post that link. Are you serious? That's not cool. Well, hope we can kill it. You've got the typical, like, people that panic. Like, man, you guys did this last year. Oh, no, we're in trouble. Look, it's going to be tough. I don't know that there is such a thing as an easy, I mean, I don't know, you blow them out, then obviously we'll all be Captain Hindsighters here. Will got fired. He did. Will Wade got fired. Montero says, no, it not big. I know, man. I know. I'm doing my best here to try and find something for you, okay? It ain't big enough, man. Do it right. So I despise Texas A&M, but them not getting in was complete garbage. That's from someone on Twitter. I mean, yeah, they probably should have been in. They probably should have been in. I'm not gonna fight against it. And you've heard what some of these SEC coaches said in their when they were talking to the media and their pressers about how the net rankings was just ridiculous this year. You had the debacle with LSU in the net rankings in Arkansas, despite the fact that you've beaten them 3 times. Look how that ended up with the net rankings. You look at right now at some teams that are getting left out. There's always going to be this case every single year of teams that get left out. And, people getting upset. I think there's a real argument that A&M probably should have been in this thing. And I'm definitely not going to die on the hill of defending them. I mean, it's at the same time, it's kind of, I don't know. I don't. Did the SEC deserve more respect than that? Sure. How many SEC teams are in? That's the question. Okay, so if you try to fill out a CBS Sports bracket, you will have to have a login. No real big surprise there. I don't have one, so I'm unable to look at this bracket, so that sucks. I can't pull it up. But you will need a login if you want to do that. We'll find one. I'm not sure we'll stick with CBS for the PTN Discord bracket. So Mike, did you reset the XP? Are you in chat? We also have the final top 25 list. Michael posted in our Discord, by the way. So if you guys want to, for those of you who are in our Discord, we're going to reset it. It starts, I guess we're just going to restart it tonight. Is that what we agreed on? I don't remember. I don't know. We're making this up as we go. SEC has 6 teams in, says Luke Blackman. Should have been at least 7 for sure. Complete BS A&M didn't make it in. Big Ten is lucky. I mean, it would be the most Big Ten thing in the world to send that many teams. I'm sure they sent 7 or 8. And for them all to get eliminated and no one make it past maybe the Sweet 16. Michigan got in because the NCAA is scared of being assaulted at headquarters. People panic too much. We'll be just fine. Plus, panicking isn't going to change the outcome of the game from fans. Yeah, and I think that this is kind of a reflection of Hog fans are just a lot of them. They just get so nervous. Look, maybe they could absolutely drop this game. Sure. But on the surface, I think you ought to feel pretty good. Defense does travel. It didn't yesterday. I know that. But for the most part, Arkansas's done pretty well away from Bud Walton. Or overall, they've done decent. Not great. You do have a couple of decent road wins at Florida, at LSU. You got a couple of neutral site wins in Kansas City when you weren't even playing your best basketball. I mean, if you're that nervous, I don't know that you – I don't know. I'm not. I'm not saying I'm super duper comfortable. I'm not picking this as an automatic win. I don't do that for any game. Do you think the losses to Vandy and that other school got us in the bracket we were in? Sure, maybe. It looks like Vermont is a bunch of white guys that can't miss. Big Ten with 9 teams, over half those teams will be gone in the first 2 rounds. Bama has to wait for the first game to see who they play. Okay. I just hope Vermont isn't that team full of white guys that can drain 23s. I'll tell you this much: if Arkansas plays as poorly as they did out at the at perimeter, like they did against A&M, if they play that poorly, and Vermont is a good 3-point shooting team, let's look at it. Their overall 3-point percentage, they're 36%. Now I'm just looking at ESPN here. This cat, Ryan Davis, this dude's knocked down 42%, but how many shots does he have outside, though? That's the question. He's a forward, so I can't imagine too many. Ben Shungu has 41% outside. They've got another forward shooting above 31% outside. They've got several guys in the 40+% category that are all getting quality minutes here. Aaron Deloney gets 41% outside. And they even have a guy who I'm assuming doesn't get much. He gets 5 minutes a game, or 7 minutes a game, but he's shooting 75%. But don't let that scare you. I mean, that's probably a guy that came in one game and knocked down 2 of 3 shots outside. But right now as a team, they're shooting 36.4% overall from the floor. They're shooting 49%. They're 75% at the free throw line. Now, their rebound, they're not very good. Where'd I say they were ranked? It was pretty low. They turn the ball over about 10 times a game. I mean, that's actually pretty decent. 49% field goal percentage. Now, wait a minute. What am I looking at here? Yeah, 49%. That's pretty good. But you also have to keep in mind what caliber of talent were they doing that against. It matters because now they're going to do it against a long, athletic Arkansas team that's coming off an ass whooping. So it really just kind of, to me, it depends on how Arkansas responds after this A&M loss. Again, do they turn the page? Do they learn from what just happened? I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. My guess is, other than the beginning of the season, well, I say the beginning, when you went on that, when you lost to Oklahoma and you lost to Vanderbilt, you lost games you had no business losing. You got blown out against Oklahoma. That was really the only point in the year where Arkansas just couldn't pull their heads out. And they either bought into the idea that they were bad at the time or, I don't know, guys, Muss was trying to figure out the rotation. You're still trying to find chemistry. Well, since you've found that chemistry and since you got the better rotation down, and we know Arkansas can go pretty deep into their bench if they absolutely have to. I think they can. I think there's some guys that have quality minutes left in them we just didn't see enough of. Sure. I think that's absolutely possible, but they haven't had to. They haven't needed to. They've stuck with that same basic 7 or 8 man rotation. But if they absolutely have to, they could change things up. They can go with a different starting 5. They can change their rotation. They can change matchups. I think they have the guys to do that. And he said, we're going to find our 7 guys, and that's who we're going to roll with. And for a while, that's been Devo and Likes coming off the bench. And then whoever you want to trade off with between, a couple of the other guys. But Arkansas is going to be a tough out. And maybe Vermont, we're not talking enough about Vermont. Then again, I just don't know enough about them. Shooting outside is awfully, that's pretty good. I mean, 36% outside, but are they taking 18 shots a game outside? Are they taking a bunch? What's going on in the rebound game? I mean, they're getting about 5 steals a game. That's pretty decent. 2.5 blocks a game. And again, they're averaging right at about 75 points a game. So go to A&M chat rooms. How tall is Vermont's starting lineup? Well, again, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm just now. I mean, I can tell you the 5 guys that get the most minutes. Ryan Davis, their forward. This cat is 6'8", 250. Their other forward, Isaiah Powell, is 6'6", 220. That's their forwards. I don't see a 5, a true center on their How tall are their guards here? Ben Shungu, 6'2", 200. The guys getting the most minutes here look pretty small to me. I'm just going to say it. Aaron Deloney, 6 foot, 165. Again, this may not even be their rotation. If you want to look at their most recent game, who'd they go with against UMBC? Powell, Davis, Sullivan, Missoula, and Shungu. So 2 forwards and 3 guards. So they're not that was their starting 5. And damn, they go deep. 6, 7. Now this might have been because they're blowing these guys out too. So you can't look too much into that. Fiorello. It's hard to. He got 14 minutes off the bench, 2 points. Deloney had 21 minutes off the bench and 3 points. Duncan, 18 minutes, 4 points. Their leading scorer was Davis and Sullivan. Davis had 20. Oh, no, I'm sorry. My bad. Shungu had 19 points. I bet he's probably he's either their point guard or, not someone that, well, I don't know. He has pretty good point production, 19 points. But he did have an assist. Maybe Mozilla is their point guard. He has 3 assists, 6 points. So, yeah, we'll find out more. I'll do some research on him tonight, and we'll talk about him on Wednesday. Tomorrow we'll probably fill out the bracket and talk a little bit about some of the SEC matchups. We're hopefully going to get caught up on some Razorback stuff, Razorback football stuff tomorrow too. Exciting. March Madness is upon us. It's good times, man. It's the best time of the year. This year's different from others where every team is beatable and vulnerable in their own ways. I think Vermont beat every team in their tourney by 36 points. Yeah, they definitely did some damage. I was trying to pull up. Nope, that's not who I wanted. Vermont offensively lately has played a little bit better, no doubt. But they average on the season 75 points a game. That's 81st in the country. They were 224th total in rebounds. They beat NJIT 98-59, Binghamton, am I saying that right? Binghamton 74-42 and UMBC 82-43. They beat Maine 75-56. But this is the NCAA tournament and it's Arkansas. I'm willing to bet Arkansas is a little bit better than those teams. UMass Lowell, they beat 62-61. And again, their only Power 5 matchup this year was against Maryland, and they lost that game by 11 points, 68-57. That was earlier in the year, as I stated. Ryan Davis is their leading scorer, 17 points. He's also their highest field goal percent. This dude's 59%. He's their forward. Where'd you go? Well, the NCAA site, I don't know. You're dragging ass. I'm not real happy with you. I still don't have the other side of the bracket filled out. But yeah, so I don't know. We'll try and we'll open this up and look at it. Ty, what is your biggest concern when it comes to Vermont? Again, Manning, I don't know anything about Vermont. They look small at first sight. They don't look like they play real big. They look like they play a little smaller. They're capable of knocking down the 3 ball, but other than that, I just don't know enough about them. You can believe if we don't come to play and take them lightly, we could be going home earlier. Yeah, that was the point that I made earlier, JV. Absolutely. Zags are not as good as last year's team. They will come up short again this year. Maybe. Michael Kopesky says, in college ball, all you need is a guard who can score and a big man to rebound. This tournament's going to be fun. I think it's a little more complicated than that, Michael. All you need is a guy who can score and a guy who can rebound. I think it's a little more complicated than that, right? If you're going to ask me, I'll tell you, Manny, here's the question. What is your biggest concern about Arkansas? That's the question, right? Like, what's your biggest concern going forward? And we don't have to just look at what happened against A&M, like on the year. If there's something that stands out to you and you're like, wait a minute, that's been a problem. For me, I think, and again, we'll probably go more into this week before we play this game. But for me, it's atrocious. They're awful outside. They are an awful 3-point shooting team. They're terrible. That's a problem, I think. Like, you don't have to be good to advance in the tournament at the 3-ball. You need to be somewhat decent where you stretch the floor a little bit, open up more lanes, get the better matchups that you want. When you're knocking down the 3-ball, man, when you're shooting at least 28, 29%, at least bare minimum on 20 attempts or so, that's 5-6 threes, right? I mean, it's pulling guys out, it's taking bodies out of the paint. And when you go ice cold like Arkansas has, it can become, I think, a little bit of a matchup issue because they're not as fearful of you. I mean, what's the need of chasing guys off the line if there's no threat that they're going to actually score outside? Now, Amude can light it up. Their shot selection got better. JD Note's shot selection got better as the year went on. Amude's shot selection, I mean, he was the guy who could knock down the 15-footer and light it up outside. He kind of became that second scorer. But what happens here's another issue, JD Note gets into foul trouble early. He got 2 fouls right off the bat. And for a while, Jalen Williams struggled with that a little bit. They have to figure out, like JD Note's got to figure out how to defend without getting into foul trouble. And if he's having a hard time guarding a guy and he keeps drawing fouls, then switch him up with a Mude or something, which we have seen. We saw it a little bit yesterday. There's several things that to me are concerning. And if a team is able to, highlight those problems and take advantage on the floor and they have the ability to go a little deep into their bench and they catch fire outside and, who knows what that matchup can hold for you. It's going to be, I don't know. Michael says he was being sarcastic. Are you saying that because you got called out, Michael? Be honest. Are you saying that because I read your comment? Have to stay out of foul trouble and hit some threes. Why couldn't they give us Chattanooga or something? That's who I thought they might draw, but I felt like they're probably going to get it. They're probably going to get Vermont. Our main issue is not feeding the big guys. We gotta get the ball inside often and take the game over early against them. Vermont hasn't seen a defense with the length we have. That's a very good point. I would argue the length and the talent that Arkansas has. Like, they haven't – what they're about to play, they've not seen all year. Now, does that mean they're not going to be prepared for it and that this – listen, who knows? This might be the matchup we're not talking enough about, right? When you're talking about the grand scope of the NCAA tournament. Vermont hasn't played a bigger, more athletic team all season. Arkansas will pound Vermont unless we're ice cold. Yeah, and – perimeter defense we cannot see what we saw against A&M, or you will be. It won't matter who you're playing. If you play anything like you did yesterday, dude, you're a one and done, and it's not even close. Vermont's in, right? A&M's not. Was A&M a tournament caliber team? Probably should be in this thing. I mean, yeah, of course they should be. But this is a team that on paper, according to the selection committee, they're better than A&M. I mean, they're in. They're better than A&M. They have it in them, right? Especially when you look at what they've done offensively recently. Overall, they're not super impressive, but recently they're on fire. They're absolutely capable of doing what A&M did. If what we're looking at, right? Just the scores. Again, I have limited knowledge on them. I haven't watched anything on Vermont. We could have killed A&M inside, but our guards kept shooting terrible shots. The shot selection was atrocious. Rebounding, every single aspect of the game was just bad for Arkansas. I mean, in terms of effort and what we've seen them do in the past, it was bad. It's going to be all Vermont fans, but oh well. Tony, you're just a ray of sunshine, man. Let me tell you. Cheer up, guy. Look, it's March Madness. Arkansas should be in good shape. Of course, right now I would take the Hogs, having very limited information on Vermont. Will Wade to McDonald's? Gerard Collins, I'm off suicide watch. Well, I'm glad to hear that. 4 seed with the Zags feels good. Yeah, I for everyone who said that loss knocked us out of the 4 seed, anything was possible, and you guys know I don't deal in the absolute. Anything's possible, but I had a hard time seeing them getting knocked out of the 4 seed. I just didn't think it was going to happen, and it didn't. Again, Michigan State Davidson is like the game I'm really excited for, and who knows, Arkansas Vermont could be a hell of a game. It's in Buffalo, right? I just think you're being so pessimistic. You guys call me pessimistic when I'm a little critical of the Hogs. UConn Arkansas is intriguing. Could be. It could be, assuming they get by New Mexico State. I'd like to see New Mexico State beat UConn. Yeah, I would too. Why are we sweating over Vermont? Come on, man. I think that's natural. Mr. Too Cold 010. I think that's natural. I mean, you could put Fayetteville high on the bracket and someone's going to be panicking. I mean, it's just, we need Devo Davis to step up and play like he did last year in the tournament. I hope he does. It'd be nice to see Devo Davis, to see that tournament, that March Madness Devo show up in this tournament would be great. And then to have likes, like the better side of likes that we've seen these last 15, 16 games, and your starting 5 do their thing. Like they are absolutely capable. I still believe, no matter what happened yesterday. Yesterday was either an absolute wake-up call. Maybe they needed that ass whooping. Maybe they needed it, man. Although I would argue Oklahoma didn't do enough to wake them up. But I think, too, you're waiting on them to figure out their chemistry and their rotation. But maybe they respond the way that you would hope. And they come out and they whoop some ass. And they shock everyone, right? Well, it wouldn't be shocking because there's a lot of people who believe Arkansas is Elite 8. There's still people that believe they're Final Four caliber. I still think they're definitely Elite 8 caliber. Did yesterday do anything to kind of shake my confidence? A little bit, not going to lie. But I still think they still have a really high ceiling. Play more like you did in the second half against Tennessee, and you're likely to beat just about anybody that you're matched up with. I think just listening to the people who eat, breathe, and sleep this stuff, listen to them talk about Arkansas, they think very highly of the Hogs. I'll just tell you that, and some of them think they're going to make the Final Four. You didn't have that conversation last year. Even with how good Arkansas had played, you didn't have people thinking that they would even make the Elite 8. And look what they did. They played the team that would go on to win the national title. They would go on and win the whole tournament. So, yeah. To get to 8, we have to beat Gonzaga, right? A&M didn't make it. Yep, we talked about that earlier. We should be hearing from Anthony Black's decision around the high school All-American game. I wish the young man well. He's a beast. We shall behold him, says. Yeah, Anthony Black. Yeah, and that's at the end of the month. So I think in the next couple of weeks. Arkansas Hog, Little Rock Dog says we have one of the easier roads to the Final Four. I'm super optimistic. Danny West on Twitter says brutal for A&M. They deserved to get in, and Tennessee deserved a 2, in his opinion. Maybe Tennessee deserves to be there. I mean, they won in a really difficult conference, no doubt. I think the SEC this year, I think they matched up with some of the better, with with some of the better conferences this year. I don't think there's any doubt. Are they the best conference? No. The level of competition, and I've been saying this now for the last, 3 years, the level of competition in the SEC is the best. I think it's, I don't know, I'm not going to say the best it's ever been, but it's got to be up there, right? I mean, I don't think it would have been absurd to send 7, 8 SEC teams. I don't think that would have been absurd. And yeah, I think A&M should be in for sure. Absolutely. And A&M getting left out just sucks. It sucks for them. Part of me is kind of like, I kind of chuckle a little bit, like, but I kind of hate it for them too at the same time. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of on the fence with it. I do think they deserve to be in. I think the SEC deserves to be recognized as a better basketball conference than it once was, for sure. So yeah. All right. Tomorrow I think we're gonna try and fill out a bracket, or again, maybe I'll fill out my own bracket and I'll post it. And you guys, if you're in our Discord, we can start our own bracket for PTN. We'll do it for like we always do for XP and what have you. Welcome Arkansas Smith into our Discord. Welcome, man. So yeah. Duke just lost to a bubble Virginia Tech and a bubble UNC. They aren't scary, and Gonzaga is just Gonzaga. Choke artist capital. And again, I mentioned that earlier about Duke, Arkansas Hog, Little Rock Dog. I mentioned that earlier. This is not, when you see Duke, I think sometimes we fear the logo instead of the team. I think it's important that you look at the team and not just the logo. I don't think this is – I'm not saying that Duke doesn't go all the way. I mean, we know they're capable of that. They've got one of the greatest college basketball coaches of all time. We know their roster's loaded down with some really solid talent. They're absolutely capable of winning it all, for sure. But I don't look at them in the same way that I would, uh-oh. What's that? To me, I think they're gettable. I'll say that. I think they're gettable. There have been years for sure where you felt like, oh crap, we're in the same, we could, if we advance, we could be matched up. We're in the same bracket with Duke. That's terrifying. And don't get me wrong, it is still Duke, and you do got to respect the logo, and you do got to respect, assuming you get the opportunity to play them, right? They're still Duke, but sometimes we fear the logo a little too much. We really need to have better passing. The passing game yesterday sucked. Yeah, it was Musselman talked about it. It was no bueno. The bracket is all out. Go to CBS and pick your bracket. You can see it all. Yeah, well, you got to sign in, right, to fill out their bracket. I'm not going to do that right now because I don't have a Yahoo account, or excuse me, a CBS account. But maybe I'll make one tonight. Maybe I'll do that. And if you go to NCAA, they're my favorite because I go to them for everything, for all the stats and everything that I do for my shows. I go to the NCAA.com. And they do have their tournament bracket, but for whatever reason, they are taking their damn time to get this thing completely loaded up. I don't know what they're waiting on. It's kind of frustrating because I was hoping they'd have it up. But yeah, CBS, they do have their whole bracket up, but in order to fill a bracket out, you have to have a sign in, and I don't. So if you want to go to CBS and do that, you can. Hang on a second. Let's see if let's see. Check out Palm's latest bracket, full of 68. Blah blah blah. Why don't we just give us? Yeah, let's see, inner bracket, sign in. Oh, no, wait a minute. Maybe I can, hold up. Loving you easy 'cause you're beautiful. Okay, here we go. Yeah, you can't fill it out, but we can look at it. We'll take one more look at it, then we're going to log out of this bad boy. Wait, that's the West and the South. Okay. Let me flip this screen around. We can't fill it out because I don't have a login, but here's one last look at it. This is CBS. So here's your West bracket over here. Right? You got the Zags. You got Duke. Right? Those are the two names. UConn. What do they say about Arkansas and Vermont here? Oh, okay. Look at this. Look at this. They give you the whole little bit of info here, don't they? Strength of schedule, 233rd in the country. Record versus top 25, they're 0-1. Arkansas, 4-1. Tony Brown, does this make you feel a little bit better, my man? Just a little bit. Their net ranking isn't as low as I thought it might be, but then again, I mean, they are in the top 60, which makes sense. Points per game, Arkansas's about almost 3 full points ahead. This right here is impressive. I'm not going to lie. This kind of stands out to me more than anything, and that's their points per game. Opponents' points per game. That's, again, I understand who they played against, but that's still impressive, man. Their last 10 games, they're 7-3. Arkansas is, that is. Vermont's 9-1. Now look at this. I'll give you everything here. This is kind of, let's see. Team statistics. What is this, though? Field goal percentage. They're 49. At the 49 points, or 49 percentage, sorry. Arkansas is obviously lower. That last game didn't do you any favors. Arkansas is awful at shooting. Look at that, 306th. 300. You're one of the worst in the. It is the worst 3-point offense I've ever seen at Arkansas. It really is, and this is the reflection. 306. They're pretty similar at the free throw line. In fact, they're damn. Look at that. They're. And they've already got a readout here, and then they've got key players. Boy, look at you, CBS. No injuries for either team. The Catamounts fit the bill of a dangerous mid-major team after running through the American East and not losing in regulation since early December. Vermont is one of the nation's elite shooting teams, ranking in the top 5 in effective field goal percentage, and can score inside and out. The Catamounts are also one of the nation's best teams at taking care of the ball. Yeah, they were. I saw that. Their turnover is pretty good. Number 1 team in defensive rebounding rate with a point guard and a big man, Ben Shungu and Ryan Davis, who can both score inside the arc while shooting better than 40% outside of it. Vermont is a team that requires an opponent's complete attention. So this will be a good matchup. So look at this. We're learning together. Their points per game, not super great, right? It's not great, but their effectiveness is. And that's right there is all you need to know. Their field goal percentage is really good. Pretty solid. I think if you're top 50, top 100, that's pretty solid right there at shooting outside. 36%. So these are the things clearly I'm sure Muss is going to look at. Now, again, Arkansas is going to be longer, more athletic, and more talented than anything these guys have seen. This will be a good matchup. This will be a solid matchup. I'm looking forward to it. Davis is their big man. Note bounce back game. Them Vermont guards are not going to be able to stop him. Let's hope. Tony says, I'm not saying we're going to lose, I promise. I'm saying that since it's in Buffalo and the amount of fan support is probably going to be lopsided. Maybe. Possibly. Arkansas fans travel pretty well, though, Tony. Can Vermont be as physical as us, as athletic? Their strength may be shooting, but our strength is our strengths are way better. Yeah, no, I hear you. I agree. I think Arkansas is going to be it's going to be a. They're in for a little bit of a treat. I mean, again, Arkansas. I'm not saying they're going to be scared. I'm not saying Vermont's going to walk into this thing terrified. But Arkansas defensively, if they play at the level they played in the second half against Tennessee, they ought to be just fine. Shot selection's got to be on point. Everything that they did right. I mean, sure, play your perfect game and you're going to win out. Sure, it's that simple. It's that simple. Just play your best game and you're going to win out. Vermont will be. I think they'll be a pretty good matchup, and that's kind of some of the stuff I'd been hearing before this announcement. But, yeah, they're obviously a team with. Looks to me like their shot selection's pretty solid and they're pretty effective shooters. I'm more worried about UConn than the first game. Got to get past the first game though, right? Bylis picked Vermont. Did he? Well, we'll see. They're really effective offensively, but their points per game is lower because they play a slow play style of play. We play fast, so we have to hope they can't keep up with us and our athleticism and size. So, yeah. All right. We'll be back tomorrow morning. No. Tomorrow's Monday, so we'll be back at 12 tomorrow. Tomorrow will be noon, 12 o'clock. We're going to fill out. Again, we'll either fill out a bracket together or I may have one already done and we'll kind of go over it. I fully expect everyone to agree with every one of my picks. If you're not a Patreon subscriber, please do so. There's the names for the month of February. Check it out. If you want to contribute towards the channel, that'd be great. It goes towards helping out the channel. And, of course, shout out to our sponsor, Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. To Discord peeps, you guys, most of you are really good people. No, I'm kidding. The vast majority of you are good people. If you want to join our Discord, the link is provided for you down below. Woo pig, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at noon. Go Hogs.